Giving you the headlines first. Bombs lobbed inside doctor's residential compound in Imphal East. Sit-in protest staged. One-day discourse on China role and international humanitarian law held at MU. And let people protect state resolve crisis if government cannot, says Peace Committee Wangkai Kendra. Hello Kurumjeri, this is Northeast Window and you're watching English News with me, Jessy. Now the news in detail. A sit-in was staged against blast at a doctor's residence in Imphal East District last night. The protest staged at 𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗶𝗶 𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗶 Basketball Ground, Imphal East District, organized by 𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗶𝗶 𝗍𝗶𝗱𝗀 Social Welfare Center. 𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗶𝗶 strongly condemned the bomb attack at the residential area. Mentioned may be met the house of Dr. Mayanglambam Amit Kumar, a neurosurgeon at Jawaharlal Nehru Institute of Medical Sciences Jennings Hospital, was attacked by two unknown miscreants last night around 7:30 p.m. The unidentified persons suspected to be militants lobbed two hand grenades at the residential compound of Dr. Amit Kumar at 𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗶𝗶 last night and torched one four-wheeler vehicle. Reportedly, one hand grenade exploded while the other didn't. The locals were terrified as the unexploded bomb wasn't picked up till 9 p.m. when this report was filed. Two children of the family were playing in the courtyard when they heard the explosion. They said that they rushed inside their house soon after the bomb went off. Speaking to media on the sidelines of the protest, a member of the 𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗶𝗶 group, 𝗍𝗶𝗱𝗍𝗶 sucittra, decried such disturbing acts being meted out to the civilians amidst the trauma people have been undergoing the prolonged crisis in the state. Urging those concerned to not repeat such act in future, she demanded the concerned to clarify to the public as to why the doctor's residence was targeted. A one-day discourse on China role and international humanitarian law was held at Manipur University Court Hall today. The discourse was jointly organized by Department of Law, Manipur University and Manipur Human Rights Commission. Speaking on the occasion, member of 𝐿𝐻𝐶R Khagendra stated the citizens are required to abide by the law of the land at all times. 𝐿𝐻𝐶R member Khangjam Khagendra graced the event as the chief guest, Vice Chancellor MU Professor Ann Lokendra as the President, and Head of Investigation Division MHRC Mamata Wahengbam, Dean of School of Social Sciences MU Professor T.H. Purnima, and Head of Department of Law MU Dr. Yumnam Premananda as the guests of honors. Khagendra further expressed the importance for the citizens to understand the law of the Indian Constitution and stressed taking law into one's hands may lead many dire consequences. As such, for an initiative to be carried out successfully, the rules and regulations must also be adhered to, he said. Expressing pride that the May Days has the age-old China role of the Puya, he said that the discourse was organized to deliberate on the same. He also emphasized the need to hold a public discourse to resolve the state crisis that has lasted for more than 1 year.
International human rights, humanitarian law, she did the Bakanda, Manipuri, Sarah, Mahatan, 𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗶𝗶, Maduda, Equida, Kari, Philadelphia, Manipuri, Maiti, or Equid, Sigumba, Mamuba, Sana Patal, Quick Hiram Kudimu, Sana Patal, Sanaga, in their constitution, Sana Patal. karam masana patam to protect the citizen of India. Ado ngasi ni ako Manipur ka country ko dole ko ni kai chelda. Ngasi ni Manipur ka family balance da how much protect the constitution of India to us. Question ko gaya. India constitution protect kara ko gaya. Tadi chali like asap nahi hai. Ado mana ngasi ko na discourse of the negative results hai. CD sana han biya ba. International court ko in biya ba. International criminal court ko biya ba. Document ko.
In the first session of the discourse that had Head of Department of Law MU Dr. 𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗀 as the moderator, MHRC Law Officer 𝗰𝗵𝗀𝗀𝗶 LMS Law College Principal Professor and Promote, and Imphal Review of Arts and Politics Editor 𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗀𝗻 spoke as resource persons, while in the second session, Professor of Department of Anthropology MU MC Arun was the moderator, and Faculty of Indira Gandhi National Tribal University Dr. Homen Thangjam, International Peace and Social Advancement Working President 𝗂𝘄𝐲𝗄 𝐼𝐻𝐵, Assistant Professor Department of Law MU Dr. Sapam Dilip Kumar, and HOD of Law MU Dr. 𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗀𝗀 shared their opinions, knowledge and ideas as resource persons. Peace Committee 𝗁𝐿𝐼𝐻𝐸 demanded the government of India to hand over the charge of resolving the state crisis to the people if the center cannot contain and resolve the crisis. A press conference was held at Wall United Club 𝗁𝐿𝐼𝐻𝐸 organized by the Peace Committee 𝗁𝐿𝐼𝐻𝐸. Addressing the media, convener of the committee Mahendra Naurem termed the silence and inaction of the state and center government despite the ethnic conflict besieging the state for more than a year now since May 3rd last. Maintaining that the people of the state will defend themselves against the continuous onslaught of the Kuki militants if the state and central leaderships cannot do anything to protect the Meiteis. He shared that the Peace Committee 𝗁𝐿𝐼𝐻𝐸 will visit Jiribam district on June 21 to take stock of the condition of the displaced Meiteis and provide possible help in the district. He also appealed to the people to extend help and take responsibility in saving Jiribam. Expressing suspicion if the center is siding with the Kuki militants to completely wipe out the Meiteis, he urged the government to send two additional security forces and provide adequate security for safety of those who are minority in the region instead of relocating them. Relocating the people will give the upper hand to the aggressors to capture their region, Mahendra said. It may be mentioned that ethnic crisis flared in Jiribam district after the Kuki militants killed Soibam Sarath Kumar. A series of arson attacks and exchange of fire ensued after the day, leading to evacuation of hundreds of people from several parts of the district.
Press meet si mamangi sehigi megi tang mahumdagi ki militant singna yang tamthi bomongda maitei yang chamna leiba maitei singda lanta salakba lansdagi chahi ama helaba matung aikoi ngarang naham da logiba MP election sigi hek matung tarakbaga aikoi maning maikai da leiba Jiribam sida yamna tamthi bomongda aikoi farm da leijaba adumna ba mioi ma mangaka mioi gi minung sigi wangda mangaka hatpa loina jiri ki 𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗶𝗶 adigi 𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗶 𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗶 na sing mafam singda leiba yum undramar gi matakta mai thaba sai tawdana yam tamthi bomongda akoi Kuki militant singna chatarba akoi lanchang sida India government na damak ngasi paw yengaga leiba masi yamna pende mawang su koi Peace Committee na kana koi condemn tawjadrabani loina na aikoi Peace Committee ki maikai degi laiba aikoi tangkunma thoisda aikoi club kunyu marisna angam basenkai khaigana aikoi adal leiriba irecha sing wana tarba amsung nilip kenda leiriba pangai basingsta aikoi na khas tangorsu aikoi na mateng pangna widongka aikoi tangkunma thoisda aikoi chachakani amsung tangkun marida aikoi halapagi su aikoi sinja.
Security forces continue to conduct search operations and area domination in the fringe and vulnerable areas of Hill and Valley districts, as per a report from Manipur Police Control Room. During the operations, movement of 193 vehicles along National Highway 2 with essential items were ensured. Strict security measures were taken up in all vulnerable locations and security convoy was provided along sensitive stretches in order to ensure free and safe movement of the vehicles. A total of 120 checkpoints were installed in different districts of Manipur, both in the hills and the valley, and police detained 77 persons in connection with violations in different districts of the state, the report said. Now let us take a short break. We'll be right back.
Step into a world of endless possibilities with 18 dynamic faculties and 180+ courses. Unlock your potential with industrial-ready training and placements. SGT University, empowering tomorrow's leaders.
Welcome back. Telugu Desam Party TDP Chief and Chandrababu Naidu took oath as the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh for the fourth term today after his party scored a thumping win in the assembly polls held alongside the general election. 24 members of his cabinet also took the oath. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah and BJP Chief and Health Minister JP Nadda attended the grand event on the outskirts of Vijayawada. The Prime Minister congratulated Naidu with a hug after he took the oath. In the Modi 3.0 cabinet, TDP has got a cabinet minister berth and a Minister of State post. Chandrababu Naidu has pledged to firmly back the NDA government led by Prime Minister Modi. The NDA alliance comprising TDP, Jana Sena and BJP won 164 seats in the 175-member assembly this time. The alliance also swept the Lok Sabha election, winning 21 of Andhra's 25 seats and decimating the incumbent YSR Congress party. Senior BJP leader Mohan Charan Majhi will be the new Chief Minister of Odisha. The swearing ceremony will be held this evening at Janata Maidan in Bhubaneswar. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Union Ministers Jwal Oram and Ashwini Vaishnaw and Chief Ministers of several BJP-ruled states will be attending the function. The BJP Legislative Party unanimously decided to elect 52-year-old Majhi as its leader in the presence of two central observers, Union Ministers Rajnath Singh and Bhupendra Yadav. Majhi is a four-time MLA from Keonjhar in Odisha. He was elected to the Odisha Legislative Assembly in 2000, 2004, 2019 and 2024. After being elected as the Chief Minister, he said his government would do its best to meet the expectations of the people of the state for which they voted the BJP to power for the first time. The BJP also decided to have two Deputy Chief Ministers, senior BJP leaders Kanak Vardhan Singh Dio and Pravati Parida. Vardhan Singh Dio is a six-time MLA and former minister and represents Padnagar Assembly constituency, while Parida is a first-time MLA representing Nimapara Assembly constituency. Lieutenant General Upendra Dwivedi has been appointed as the next chief of the Army Staff. He will take charge from 30th of June. The present Chief of the Army Staff, General Manoj C. Pandey, will demit office on the same day. Born on 1st July 1964, Lieutenant General Upendra Dwivedi was commissioned into the infantry, Jammu and Kashmir Rifles of the Indian Army on 15th December 1984. During his long and distinguished service spanning nearly 40 years, he has served in different capacities. In the rank of Lieutenant General, the officer has tenanted important appointments including Director General Infantry and General Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Headquarters Northern Command from 2022 to 2024, before getting appointed as the Vice Chief of the Army Staff. An alumnus of Sainik School, Rewa, National Defense College and U.S. Army War College, Lieutenant General Upendra Dwivedi has MPhil in Defense and Management Studies and 2 master's degrees in Strategic Studies and Military Science. He has been decorated with the 𝗵𝗵𝗱𝗶𝗶 Seva Medal, a 𝗵𝗵𝗱𝗶𝗶 Seva Medal and 3 GOC-in-C Commendation Cards. 2 terrorists who had opened fire in a village in Jammu and Kashmir's Kathua late last night have been killed in an encounter. A paramilitary soldier was also killed in action during the exchange of fire. 2 encounters that began overnight in Jammu had dragged into the morning. This included one in Doda where 5 soldiers and a special police officer were injured in an attack on an army post. Just 2 days before these 2 terror incidents in Jammu, a bus carrying pilgrims had come under attack in 𝗲𝗏 and crashed into a gorge, killing 9 passengers. Additional Director General of Police Jammu Zone Anand Jain, who is supervising the anti-terrorist operations in Kathua, shared details of the encounters earlier this morning. On the Doda incident, he said terrorists opened fire at a joint party of police and Rashtriya Rifles at an army base in Chattargala area late last night. An encounter is underway between the security forces and the terrorists in the higher reaches, he said. The police said 2 terrorists were involved in the Kathua attack last evening and one of them was killed last night. The second terrorist, armed with an US-made M4 carbine assault rifle, was holed up in the forested region and was eliminated this morning. The terrorists had asked for water from several houses, raising villagers' suspicions and opened fire when some villagers raised an alarm, the police said. 1 civilian was injured in the firing, clarified Jain, and denied reports that 3 people died in the Kathua attack. At least 41 people were killed on Wednesday after a fire broke out in a building housing workers in the city of Mangalf in southern Kuwait. The incident was reported to authorities at 6 a.m. local time. Major General Eid Rashid Hamad said the building in which the fire occurred was used to house workers and there was a large number of workers there. Dozens were rescued, but unfortunately, there were many deaths as a result of inhaling smoke from the fire. Another senior police commander told State TV, the authority always alerts and warns against cramming too many workers into housing accommodation, he said, without providing details on the workers' type of employment or place of origin. The Kuwaiti Health Ministry said about 43 people were hospitalized due to the fire and 4 of those people had died. It wasn't clear if the 4 fatalities were in addition to the 35 reported by police. The authorities said they had contained the fire and were investigating what caused it. Reports say that 5 Indians were among those killed in the devastating fire incident. Now before we end, let's take a quick look at the headlines once again. Bombs lobbed inside doctor's residential compound in Imphal East. Sit-in protest held. One-day discourse on China role and international humanitarian law held at MU. And let people protect state, resolve crisis if government cannot, says Peace Committee Wangkai Kendra. And that is all we have for now, but for more news updates, keep watching Northeast Window News.